Hello, my name is Jeremy Lewicki. I'm the founder of LATT SEO, and I work with e-commerce brands to help them generate more traffic and sales from organic search or SEO. And what I want to do in this video is look at vital proteins to see if there are any ways their site can be improved and give some ideas and insight as to what's going on there from an SEO perspective. So first thing to look at is this tool here called Ahrefs. And this tool here has so many different data points, but the two big ones I like to look at initially are referring domains and DR or domain rating. Now, a referring domain, if you're unfamiliar, is a unique instance of a different website on the internet linking to your site. And the reason those are important is because Google looks at referring domains or links from other websites as votes of confidence or trust signals. So when a trusted site links to your site, Google sees that and associates your site accordingly. Now, the other thing to look at then is DR, and as you get more links, generally your DR or domain rating tends to increase as well. And this is on a 0 to 100 scale, and basically lets us know how strong or how authoritative your domain is, and also how difficult a keyword or phrase is likely to be to rank for based on the site's ranking for that key phrase. So that being said, let's look at their keyword data and see what's going on from that perspective. So this chart here shows all keywords and phrases Vital Proteins is ranking for in Google. And you can see 30,969. Now that's a relatively large data set. So what I like to do is filter this a little bit to remove any content that has blog articles, for example. So if we do a filter here for URL that do not contain blog in them, and we show results, now we've drilled this down to 13,008 keywords. Now the other thing is they rank very well for a number of keywords like collagen peptides, vital proteins, collagen peptides. Huge brand awareness there, which is awesome for them. So if we do a filter here to look at just keywords that are ranking from position 2 to 20, now we have a list of 3,026 keywords. And the reason for the filter from 2 to 20 is if you're already ranked number 1, chances are you don't need to do anything for that page other than potentially defend it, depending on what's going on from an SEO perspective over time. But if you're at number 2, a lot of times going from number 2 to number 1 can at least double your traffic for a search phrase. So huge opportunity, even going from 2 to 1. But if we look here at this chart now, one of the key phrases I wanted to look at was beef liver. And the reason for that is they're at number 19. There's 14,000 searches for the broad phrase beef liver. But if we search further at beef liver to see what's going on here, we look at all keywords and phrases containing beef liver, total search volume per month is actually 133,000. And that's from 4,058 different keywords. And we have things like beef liver supplements, recipes, which would not be likely targeted on the same page here, but these are all good content opportunities from a blog or an article perspective. So back to this chart here. Let's look at the search results and see what's going on, why they're ranking where they are, and what can be done, if anything, to help them. So the first thing to look at is the DR column. And if we look here, medical news today, 91, grassland beef, 66, white oak pasture, 66, my pet carnivore, 34, 18, 91, and 91. And vital proteins is at 73 again. So this tells me that we're in the ballpark expected for ranking on page 1, and actually higher than many of the sites ranking on page 1. So what else is going on here? If we look at the page, let's open this page up. From my perspective initially, granted it is sold out, so I'm not sure if this section changes after it's in stock, but this looks like a placeholder page or something almost. There's no initial description content up here. I have to scroll down to get to the product info down here, and it makes it seem like this is not a product that is very important for them. Other thing that's going on, which we'll get to in a second here, is some of the on-page elements related to H1s and some of the other content. So to look at that in more detail, what I like to do is look at this tool here called Surfer SEO. And what we do is we put the key phrase in here, so beef liver. We put the URL of the site we want to rank better for this key phrase. And what this shows then is a general average or expected range of the top 5 ranking sites in Google for this key phrase, and lets us know what we need to be doing better on this URL that we put in here to potentially rank better. And first thing to look at would be content. Content density is expected to have the key phrase beef liver in there 6 to 13 times. It's on the page 7 times, so it actually shows as proper here for this in the expected range. And part of the reason for that is the reviews down here. So this is all user-generated content, and it's all indexable. So we have beef liver right here, for example. This is considered a keyword on the page for them. Now, other things would be grass-fed beef liver. It's on there 0 times. Beef liver supplements, 0 times, and so on. Other things to look at then would be content. Are we in the expected range? And aside from Food Network, Vital Proteins has the least amount of content of sites, at least in the top 3. So potentially something to add a little bit more of, and look at the user-generated content with how that is impacting things, because user-generated content, while it is indexable, it can impact keyword density and impact rankings as well. Now, the important stuff here would be some of the information with the H1 tags. And an H1, if you're unfamiliar, is generally the primary topic or keyword on a page. So for a product page, oftentimes it's the name of the product. And if we look here at inspection to see exactly what beef liver is, it's just a paragraph font. It's not even considered an H1. And capsules, same thing. So I don't see an H1 on this page at all from a quick view, at least not in these top sections here. So that is potentially a big opportunity to optimize this page better from Google's perspective, because Google looks at page title, description, content, and then H tags to see what a page should be ranking, or what a page is optimized for and what it would likely be ranking for. And then same thing here, down to replace partial keywords with exact in H1. It shows that Vital Proteins has 0. And then lastly here, add 1 H1 element including exact keywords, or exact keyword. Vital Proteins has 0, and then all of the top 5 ranking sites have at one time. So huge opportunity here, and absolutely something that I would recommend having cleaned up immediately. And the other benefit there is that's a relatively easy thing to test, depending on site structure and development, design, and things like that. But in general, having that switched out, and you can have it look the exact same and just set it as an H1 element. And this is something that can impact your rankings almost immediately once it's indexed. So hopefully this video was helpful, gave you some ideas and insight as to what's going on and what can be done, and how to look at a site from an SEO perspective to likely improve it and generate more revenue for you from that perspective. So if you found some value from this video, I'd love if you could subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.